Great news for Wonder Woman fans. We just got confirmation that the next big project focused on the Amazons is on the way. During DC's big press event in February 2025, James Gunn and Peter Safran gave us some exciting updates on upcoming DCU shows like Waller, Booster Gold, and Paradise Lost. That last one really has me hyped. Gunn mentioned that things are going pretty well with Paradise Lost, and Safran added that the pilot is currently being written. This what exactly James Gunn said. Paradise Lost is totally still important, and we're working heavily on it. It seems to be going pretty well. And to this, Peter Safran added, the pilot's being written right now. And if that's not enough to ease your mind, Gunn was recently asked on Threads by a fan if he could tease anything about the Paradise Lost series, which is part of Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters. While he didn't drop any names about who's involved behind the scenes, he did say the show is still in very active development. We don't know the exact storyline for the upcoming Paradise Lost series just yet, but if it sticks close to its title, there's a good chance it'll pull inspiration from Paradise Island Lost. That's a two-part arc from Wonder Woman, numbers 168 to 169, written and illustrated by Phil Jimenez. It was Jimenez's second arc during his time on Wonder Woman, right after Gods of Gotham, which he co-wrote with J.M. DeMatteis. He also teamed up with George Perez for Paradise Island Lost, Perez being the legendary writer-artist who rebooted Wonder Woman back in 1987 with the Gods and Mortals storyline. Perez hadn't returned to the title since 1992, so this was a pretty special collaboration. Jimenez eventually took over as the sole writer, starting with issue number 171. Oh, and the title itself? It's a nod to Paradise Lost, the classic epic poem by John Milton. So if the show taps into even part of that arc's tone or story, we're in for something pretty epic. As for the comics plot, Paradise Island Lost is packed with drama and emotional weight. The core of the story revolves around an ongoing rift between Princess Diana and Queen Hippolyta, mainly because Diana chooses to be Wonder Woman rather than rule Themyscira. But things really heat up when tensions rise between the Themysciran Amazons and their Bana Migdal sisters, eventually sparking a full-blown civil war on Paradise Island. The mastermind behind the conflict is Magala from Bana Migdal, who turns out to be Ariadne in disguise, seeking revenge against the Amazons. With the help of Fury, Diana and Hippolyta manage to stop Ariadne and bring the war to an end. The story wraps up with a huge moment. Both Diana and Hippolyta renounce their royal titles, choosing unity over hierarchy and putting an end to the long-standing divide between the two Amazon tribes. But the aftermath of this arc stretched beyond just those two issues. The conflict between Diana and her mom lingered, especially since Hippolyta had her own Wonder Woman career during World War II, making her the Golden Age Wonder Woman in the DC timeline. Sadly, the mother-daughter tension is never fully resolved. Hippolyta dies during the Our Worlds at War crossover in issue number 172. Diana steps up again in number 173 to help her Amazon sisters, and by issue 177, Themyscira gets rebuilt as a series of floating islands. Diana reclaims her role as princess and ambassador, and finally, she reunites with her mother in the afterlife for some much-needed closure. And later down the line in Amazon's attack, Hippolyta actually comes back from the dead because, well, comics. So that's how it plays out in the comics, but I'm guessing the DCU series will take a different route. When Gunn first talked about Paradise Lost, he said it's going to have a Game of Thrones vibe, full of drama, dark twists, and all the political backstabbing within this all-female society. It's a Wonder Woman prequel that dives into the lives of the Amazons on Themyscira. The show's a great way for the DCU to show off Themyscira's look with some epic visuals, build its power structure, and maybe even tease some cool Greek mythology connections for the next Wonder Woman. Now the big question is, who's going to play her? If you ask me, I'm fully sold on Alexandra Daddario being the perfect pick for Wonder Woman in James Gunn's DCU. She's got everything you'd want to bring the character to life. Power, grace, and that screen presence that can really make Diana Prince unforgettable. For a while, it looked like Gal Gadot might stick around, especially since she said she was working on a new Wonder Woman project with Gunn and Safran, but that was followed by reports saying her comments weren't exactly accurate. As time went on, it became clear the DCU was starting fresh. The whole 2017 Justice League cast is basically out. Henry Cavill's been replaced by David Corenswet, Jason Momoa has swapped Aquaman for Lobo, and the rest seem to have moved on. Gunn has addressed the Wonder Woman recasting rumors too, saying Diana hasn't been cast yet, even when her name was floating around in connection to Creature Commandos. So the role is still up for grabs, and honestly, Daddario totally deserves a shot. I've been hoping to see her join the DCU for a long time now. Fans have been tossing her name around for all kinds of roles over the years, but the two that have always come up the most are Wonder Woman and Zatanna. She's mentioned more than once that she'd be totally down to join a live-action superhero project, and, fun fact, she reportedly even screen-tested for Netflix's Jessica Jones back in the day. While she definitely could have rocked it at Marvel, I've always felt like Wonder Woman is the role she was made for. What's cool is, we actually know how she feels about all the Wonder Woman talk. In an interview, she was asked about the long-running rumors connecting her to the character, and she said straight up that she'd love to be part of a Wonder Woman movie, so the interest is mutual. I mostly liked Gal Gadot's take on Wonder Woman. She did a solid job showing both the fierce warrior side and the compassionate heart of the character. But what really bugged me was how the DCEU didn't explore her Greek mythology roots. That's such a big part of Diana's backstory in the comics, and it felt like a huge missed opportunity. Luckily, James Gunn's DCU seems to be fixing that, especially with Paradise Lost, which will dive into the Amazons' history and life on Themyscira. That's one of the reasons I think Alexandra Daddario is the ideal choice for the DCU's new Wonder Woman. She's already got the perfect background to bring these mythological elements to life. One of her most famous roles was Annabeth Chase, the daughter of Athena in the Percy Jackson movies. Annabeth and Diana actually have a lot in common. Both are skilled fighters who can hold their own in battle, but what really makes them powerful is their compassion, leadership, and unshakable spirit. Daddario's experience in that world of gods and legends would totally carry over and add something special to Wonder Woman's story. Alexandra Daddario hasn't played a DC character in live action yet, but she's already got some DC cred. She voiced Lois Lane in several movies from the animated Tomorrowverse, and honestly, I really liked her take on the character. Her Lois felt true to the comics, smart, independent, and totally fearless. She was the one who uncovered Lex Luthor's shady plans in Superman Man of Tomorrow, and she came back for the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths films too. With Rachel Brosnahan already set as the DCU's Lois Lane, that door's closed, but Alexandra Daddario still has a solid shot at joining the franchise. Her voice work as Lois Lane and her role as Annabeth Chase in Percy Jackson shows she understands powerful mythic characters. She brings both heart and grit, making her a strong fit for Wonder Woman in James Gunn's DCU. Well, that's it for today, and before you go, what do you think about Alexandra Daddario potentially playing Wonder Woman? Would she nail it, or do you have someone else in mind for the role? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the latest updates on Paradise Lost and all the big stuff coming to the DCU and also the MCU. Catch you in the next one.